I am very excited to make an announcement.
Uh-oh.
I didn't even say hi to you. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm playing up with our Stay in the Gray pin right now.
I've got one of those myself.
Yeah.
And we should just kind of pretend that people can see these. Yeah. We have so many of these pins, so if anybody wants them, just let us know. Social media, email, all the ways that you can get a hold of somebody.
A text message?
Text message if you know our numbers. Oh. We don't have to change them, Trey, because we don't want to get too popular.
Right.
I want to go ahead and let you know, and some of you may know and some of you may not give a shit, but we have officially switched over to Spotify.
We did?
Yes.
Nice.
For our host. So we left our old host. We won't say their names, but we were accused of some things by this company, by this host, and we talked a little bit about it on the shows, but that combined with a few other things, I was just like, you know what? Right? I mean...
Was it false?
It was false. It was like super false.
Okay.
And
just wanted to make sure.
And so we switched, and Spotify has some different analytics. And so one of the first things that I've learned about our show, Trey,
what's that?
This should excite you.
I'm excited already.
We have 76% female listeners.
What?
With Spotify. Only
Are
Spotify.
You
I don't know about the rest, but through Spotify.
So all the women are listening through Spotify?
The women are listening, at least through Spotify. I don't know. You might be 90% men on the rest, but it's 76%.
Wow.
And
interesting.
So, if anybody needs to learn, men out there, how to talk to the ladies, apparently the boys that stay in the gray know how to do that.
We know how to do something.
So, yeah, or they're listening going, you got to hear these idiots.
It's probably the latter.
It's probably the latter. I just thought that was pretty funny. So
that is interesting.
I was excited about it, and I didn't know why. And of course, my wife tried to earn points. She was like, maybe they just saw your new cover art picture for season 2, and
that's how we roll.
You guys look good, and I was like, oh, maybe that's it. They don't even care what we say.
That's not it.
That's not. Yeah.
It could be.
Well, she got some points, nonetheless. So my lovely wife.
That's absolutely sweet.
I mean, just because she turned around and laughed doesn't mean anything, but whatever.
She's like, I can't believe you just fell for that.
I'm going to pretend that. So, right off the bat, thank you, women listeners, and keep it up, and we love you. How about that? And so, get this. I'm going to jump right into the stupidity.
Jump in.
There's a college student, and I don't even, honestly, it doesn't even say where she went to college. It just said college student. So she was convicted of stabbing her date in the neck.
Holy shit.
So
not with a Stay in the Gray pin, though, right?
No.
Okay.
Because, these things are made for love, not violence. And ironically, it was... I'm going to say it. I'm going to Tarantino this.
Okay.
Because this happens to be about a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Uh-oh.
But what I meant by that is I told you the ending first, which he likes to do a lot. He likes to go out of order, if you remember his movies. The ending was she stabbed her date. The reason she stabbed her date, apparently she is bipolar, schizophrenic.
Oh, shit.
And she was on hardcore drugs, hallucinogens.
Oh, shit. And he knew all this?
Well, I mean, you got to get laid, right?
I guess so.
He probably just like, whatever.
The crazy ones are the best, too. So I've heard anyway.
Email Trey at Stay in the Gray.
Now we're down to 70%.
Yeah, I know. 73% now, yeah. So anyway, so she stabbed her date, and it was a guy. So she said there were two things. The first reason she stabbed him was because she felt like she was on the show Homeland. This woman is of Iranian descent.
Okay.
And she got mad because in 2020, the U.S. apparently, and I didn't know this, Trey. Maybe we should be more up on our world events, I guess.
No, we tell people to do their own
research. But there was some dude over in Iran,
who
the United States assassinated because he was a bad guy.
Oh, all right. Okay.
One of their leaders, and I think I kind of remember this, but she said that she still hasn't gotten over it. And she felt like she was this Iranian character on Homeland, the show. Have you seen that show?
I haven't.
I haven't seen that either, but I think it's something about this kind of stuff. something
Heard about
this
it.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so she said while she was in the middle of sex, she felt like she was on the show and she was basically getting revenge for her country.
Holy shit!
That was the first one.
Did you already say what'd she stab him with?
She had a knife in her bed. It was like.
So she had a knife just laying in the bed.
Well, she brought it there because this didn't start just during sex. Like she felt like the whole she was in the thing.
So they weren't doing some kinky buttering up each
I don't
other or
think
anything
so.
like that. Okay.
No, it just said that she
Not a butter knife or anything.
oh God, I think this dude's still alive that she stabbed. But
Well, I hope so.
Apparently it says he came out of it and he's like, ouch.
Ouch.
He's like apparently he felt a quick pain in his neck. Yeah, that might do it.
Yeah.
But the second reason she stabbed him in the neck was because she was thinking about the character of Salma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
And if anybody hasn't seen that, there is a very sensual scene with Miss Hayek. This movie was what, the 90s?
Give or take.
Mid-90s? And it's typical Tarantino. It takes a complete turn, and you don't expect it. They're in, these kidnappers bring this family down to Tijuana in Mexico, and they go into this bar, and they're tequila shots, and then the dancers come out, and then all of a sudden they turn into like blood-sucking monster vampires and start killing everybody. And
Well,
it's
of
just
course.
like
Yeah, that
random.
makes sense.
And that's including Selma Hayek's character, right? So there was a scene where she had this snake around her, and she was in a bikini, and of course
I remember that.
I don't think you even saw the movie, but you remember that scene.
Yeah.
And so this woman said that in the middle of sex, she started thinking about her character, and then felt like that vampire was this guy.
That she was having sex with.
So she just stabbed him, trying to kill it.
Holy shit.
So this guy had no chance. First off, he's apparently all of the United States for killing the Iranian leader, and he's a female character on a movie vampire. And so that's what she told the police. She's like, well, and she said, apparently she said it, the police captain was like, she said it with a straight face, so we didn't know if she was still hallucinating or like whatever.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the types of stories that Stay in the Great podcast brings you.
Can you imagine this guy trying to have sex the next time? What's going through his head?
Might have been ruined.
So what's worse, calling out another man's name or getting stabbed in the neck?
I mean, probably. I mean, let's be real, getting stabbed. But man,
You think so?
The name thing hurts for sure.
Does hurt your feelings?
Well, I think it's especially if it's a serious relationship, if it's your wife or something. If it's some girl you're just dating for a month, like, all right, fine. That means I need to step up my game, or do what it takes to be called her name. She called my name out. The next guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What if she just says like, "Hurry up and finish, or you're not getting yours"? Is that?
That doesn't count. Wait, what?
What?
Yeah,
Sorry, I was having flashbacks.
Did you hear that a lot going through? So I'm going to go with stabbed in the neck. But that's that story. It was it was just another one of those stories. And I say this a lot during the show. We laugh, but this woman sounds like she might really have some issues. She needs to be getting help.
A lot of help.
A lot of help. I mean, this isn't something where she stabbed the guy because she was completely drunk and like she thought maybe he was going to hurt her. This is legitimately, this guy's probably laying there like, this is nice, I'm enjoying this. And all of a sudden he just stabbed because she thought she was on Homeland. She thought he was a female vampire with
She was Selma Hayek.
beautiful body. Female body.
I'm trying to figure out how he didn't realize a knife was in the bed, or maybe he was messed up too.
I don't know that part of the story, Trey. Do your own research.
Okay.
So, moving on from that, that was a, when we come in, I like to give the most important news of the day,
course.
and that seemed to be it. So,
Well, I've got a little story. I don't know if you heard about. There was a shooting at the Chicago White Sox game.
I didn't hear about this. Was this like a recent shooting?
This was recent, yes, within the last few days, I believe.
Well, everybody knows Chicago and has a clue about sports and baseball knows that the White Sox is kind of their stadium is not in the best area.
Yeah.
South Chicago is known kind of right now for having some issues.
Right.
And so you people that take the train, the subway down and the trains and the it's just not, you don't want to be, it's not like you're going to tailgate down there is one way to put it. But the Cubs, on the other hand, and that's why a lot of White Sox fans don't like Cubs fans, is because they kind of have the arrogant, they're in the nice area. They're kind of the frat boy type fans.
Yeah.
And then the South are the hardcore fans. So it doesn't surprise me to hear there was a shooting there, but that sucks.
But apparently they're trying to relocate the White Sox too. So
from Chicago or just from the area?
Chicago. I think they're talking about Nashville.
Well, Nashville could use a team probably, but I can't. It doesn't surprise me because it's just not. It's no one goes to games.
Yeah.
The attendance is down because of this type of thing. So, but there's a shoot. Was it like outside the
So
ballpark?
it was in the stadium.
In the ballpark.
The report says that there was 2 women that were hit.
Okay, go ahead. I'll be quiet.
Said so. The report is that one of the women that was hit was actually the one that brought the gun into the game.
Okay, all right.
That sounds interesting. I figure these days it would be kind of super hard to bring it into the game.
Yeah, I mean, well, right. How did she get it through the?
So the story says that she was able to sneak the gun into the stadium inside her belly fat.
Are you serious?
It says, citing a source, it says Sports Mockery claimed the woman set off the metal detector 3 different times.
3 times.
But the security didn't want to overstep their boundary.
So the guy's like, I don't know what to do in this situation.
Where else do we search?
Like, okay, empty your pockets. Okay.
Yeah, okay, there's nothing in the pockets.
Except maybe a cupcake. So okay,
so Chicago dogs or something.
So hold on. Let's back up.
Okay.
So
it's a serious
in her
story.
fat flaps, is there any chance that this story mentioned which fat flaps on her body?
I didn't say.
I'm assuming
it said
got to
belly
be like
fat,
belly. Okay,
so
belly fat. Okay, I thought it said fat flaps.
Maybe in between one titty and the stomach. I don't know.
Man, I bet that gun did. You mentioned someone's like, oh, I don't.
So does the gun during? Because well,
where did it shoot?
It's warm, right? So maybe it slid out from underneath there with all the sweat,
and then hit the ground.
Hit the ground and discharged. Well, she's claiming that she didn't bring a gun into the stadium and that she had nothing to do with the gunfire.
Well, who's going to make this claim then? Like, who said, you know what, you're full of shit? It was in your fat belly flat.
I guess there's been a couple different stories, but hopefully we'll find out. But I guess what it says is
I'm definitely following up on this one.
Chicago police on Tuesday issued a statement saying that the claim that the woman brought the gun in and suffered a self-inflicted wound was not released or confirmed. So I guess it's still up in the air. So they're still investigating how it happened, but... Still fucking hilarious, though.
Well, I don't know how. I mean, how do you deny? You're like, I didn't. Man, the metal detector went off 3 times, and there's really nowhere left. There's nowhere left.
And those poor guys don't get paid enough to go searching for that fucking gun.
No, well, the guy probably feels bad too. He's like, I just really didn't want to. Well, he's claiming he didn't want to overstep, but he really didn't want to go through that.
I wouldn't want to go through that either. No.
Well, who's the other person that got shot? Does it say?
It just said another 24-year-old woman, and I guess they were a group of teachers.
Oh God, our youth. No wonder there's an issue in South Chicago.
So maybe she knew better. So that's why she brought the gun in. I don't know.
Can you imagine the friend like? I told you not to put that in your belly.
I told you it would slide out. Ugh.
Did any of them die?
It didn't say no. It
didn't say. Who cares? I didn't your compassion is.
I didn't read that far into the story after.
It doesn't matter.
The belly fat gun.
On the last show we talked about the Nigerian friends who shot one of them, Bodie, shot the other one because the bulletproof magic potion was there. This is kind of what I felt bad for laughing, but then I thought, if you're going to die this way, people are going to laugh. And I think this is one of those. If she did unfortunately pass away, the chuckle probably. When hearing the story, I imagine people are going to chuckle, and they can't be at blame.
Yeah.
You can't fault people for naturally chuckling. The funeral is probably going to be more like a comedy show.
How'd she die again?
Yeah. Can you quit telling us about her past?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. I always thought I wouldn't go to a White Sox game for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
It wasn't because there would be a gun smuggled in with belly fat.
So now every time you see a heavier person, are you going to wonder if they're...
At the baseball games, everyone's like, this one looks fishy over here.
He's
I'm
kind
going
of
to stay away.
Just because he's eating a couple chili dogs doesn't mean he's fishy.
This isn't fat shaming people. This is like protecting yourself. This is being aware of what's going on around you.
You got to be aware.
I mean, look, you're trying to be nice to a fat person. The next thing you know, you're shot.
Got a gun sliding out, man. Goes off.
And now
terrible.
Any larger woman that we had out of that 76% is now
we're down
70%. If you listen to the last 10 to 15 minutes and you're going to listen to the next 10 minutes or however long it is, you're going to go, what are these guys on? Because I really want to bring this topic up, and I think it's something. So shift off your "these guys are idiots" or "these guys are assholes" for
Now we got our serious,
and turn on the switch that says there's something that's really interesting that Trey saw that we were talking about, and it made me kind of look it up a little bit. And Trey does that. He throws out some crazy current events and societal topics we like to talk about, and this one, Trey, as we were talking about, is cruise ship. Was it cruise ship or just ship? Anyway, I think it was cruise.
It's on a boat.
Cruise ship abortions. We talked about abortions a little bit with Jess, right? When she was here?
Yes.
Way back in the day. Well, that was a long time ago. We need to have her back on for more stories about the ER. But cruise ship abortions, in a nutshell, it's simple. I mean, if I want to bring it up and like give you details, there's a woman named Amy Autry, and she's a professor at the University of California in San Francisco, and they're pretty into their pro-choice out there in California. But ever since the whole Roe v. Wade was overturned, there have been certain people that have been kind of generating these ideas about how to battle this.
How to circumvent it.
And how to say, hey, we're not going to take this, and let's beat the system, if you will.
Right.
And so one of these is cruise ship abortions, and it's pretty self-explanatory. And what it is once you get into international waters, the state mandates, now that Roe v. Wade was handed over to the states,
right,
can no longer tell you can't get an abortion on these ships.
Right.
So people, like in our home state of Texas, can go into the Gulf of Mexico, my understanding, get on a cruise ship and have an abortion. And even though Texas might say you're not allowed to, they have no
jurisdiction.
They have no authority in this case. I'm assuming that if you go through the Bible Belt of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, all the way into Florida along the Gulf, it's probably pretty similar for those states.
Right.
Who are all, and they're all out from what you brought to my attention. They're kind of out. They're kind of outraged. Like, we can't allow this. I don't know if they have anything to say here, and I'll let you lead that. But so that's what's going on. Is that it's a project called Prowess, and it stands for Protecting Reproductive Rights of Women Endangered by State Statutes. Goodness, that seems like a mouthful of stuff. But so they're calling them floating clinics. And they're just basically saying, I'm trying to remember, the lady that started the first one was, they called it Women on Waves. And the idea, which was really intriguing to me, the first idea was...
that's wow.
That's wow.
Women on Waves. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. That's a pretty cool, yeah. I don't know if they planned that or... but the first idea was for these women to start a boat clinic, a floating clinic on the Mississippi River. And their idea was because there are a lot of boats that go up and down the Mississippi that gambling is legal on.
Oh, okay.
Even though the states surrounding right there, the coastline is not. You could go on the coastline as soon as you go into a gamble, it's illegal.
Right.
But for some reason, these little boats, river boats they can gamble. So they're going, well, hey, well, then maybe that's the same kind of deal, and we can do, up and down the Mississippi River, you can have abortion clinics on the water, which I get the pro-choice thing, and we'll get into this, but I don't feel like it's, I feel like we're going crazy here a little bit. Just the idea that you can go to the Mississippi and be like, look at all these floating abortion clinics. So that's kind of the setup, and that's what's going on. Texas is pissed, and that's what we saw. That's what you saw.
I guess why is Texas pissed though?
Well, it's just the Gulf, so I think it's close by, and they're saying, hey, I imagine people from Houston and Galveston and all these people going into these ports, and they're just, I don't know if they're like dinging out or if they're in like a jet ski. They're like, is there like a
little jet ski?
Out there. I'm going to get an abortion. That was wrong. But like the water taxis, and they're bringing them from the coast to the ship, and Texas is saying that it bothers them for some reason because they're going, these are our people, and it's illegal here, and they're basically it's because they found the
loophole.
The loophole. So that's the setup here, and I don't know what to think about it. What do you think?
I mean, I think if it's safe, then who cares? They're trying to find a safe way to go through a procedure like this. And if these doctors are credible and they're willing to, I don't know if they have any legal recourse on them for doing all this, but I mean, as long as they're being safe, then.
Well, I can't imagine there's legal recourse if it's international waters, and which is what's interesting to me is because whose laws are you going by? I know there's something for international airspace, international water, things like that, but whose law? I mean, because the feds gave it back to the states, and so the feds don't really have their law, so that may be something to dig into just to kind of, but apparently it's legal because they're doing it.
Right.
And I think it's just the notion that it's the principle that matter for a state like Texas. They're going, okay, obviously we passed this. We believe this way overall in this state, and you're going to go and do this. So it's not about doing it legally. It's just about Well,
I guess I don't understand the difference in if they jump on a boat or if they go just to a state that's legal.
Yeah, and that I think that was a lot of this was that it was to a point to where most of the southern states are going to be no longer performing abortions. And so in order to get one, you're going to have to go a really long way versus now you go to the coast of the Gulf in one of these states and you shoot out to one of these boats that are a couple miles offshore.
Yeah.
As soon as international waters start. And it's a lot easier to get there than it is to go all the way to wherever.
Is there a certain distance where international
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what that is.
Okay.
But there's definitely, and I don't think it's that far.
I was about to say, I'm just curious if they're going down the shore with the windows open and, showing people that all these abortions are being done right in front of their face and stuff like that.
I know, taunting them and stuff.
Just throwing it, yeah.
Like another one down, God,
they throw it onto the...
Oh, no.
No?
God.
That was way too much. Sorry. And now we're down to 65%.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
But
in all seriousness...
No, I know.
As long as they're safe.
I know what you mean. Obviously, if they're close enough to kind of be, the people in these states that, in my opinion, are probably majority pro-life, are standing there just like looking out, how I can't believe this is happening right under our nose. And
they can't do shit about it.
They can't do anything about it. I think that's probably what it is, especially from a government level. They're going, we can't do anything about this, even though we just passed this. So it's interesting. And you brought it up, and I just was kind of like looking at it going, is it too much? I mean, are people going crazy? But again, not my body. I mean, I can have my opinion about certain things, whether it comes to late term, the whole abortion topic, we could talk about every show and have new material. This one was definitely new. I hadn't really thought about that. it makes sense.
Yeah.
The Mississippi River one would be more. That would be interesting to me to see how they work that out, because it's right there.
So side note, obviously they do the gambling, now they do abortions. When are they going to do like legalized prostitution? Or do they already have that on these ships? And that's what leads to the abortions?
Legalized prostitution. I don't know if they have, but I'm sure there's.
Well, it's on the international water, so is that legal
true.
at that point?
Oh, it's true. Ooh. We should take a Stay in the Great podcast trip and check it out
Right.
to see. I mean,
Just to verify.
just to verify. I mean, I would send you in the battleground. I can't
Borrow a couple $.
Yeah, I can't get on that. Yeah, we'll send you. Yes, I'll send you. I promise, I'll send you the best I can find. Yeah. That's a good point, and the whole prostitution thing is a whole nother topic. I mean, I still don't see why you can tell a woman, hey, yeah, you can't have sex for money. Like, or I don't. That's the woman's choice.
I want to start doing that.
Yeah, we want to be a male gigolo.
Yeah.
I think you could do pretty good.
Yeah. Was it Rob Schneider?
If Rob Schneider can do it,
I mean, why not?
I love Rob, so I'm just giving him. Obviously, he did the movie because it was funny that he would be a male gigolo. So, it's some people really like sex that much.
We should save that topic though.
Yeah, we'll save prostitution, but that's interesting. I just in the boat, abortions, gambling. Apparently, you go out to sea, anything goes. Well, I'll have to look into that. That's good.
And what order would they be in? Like, there's got to be a boat with cocaine on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got legalized prostitution,
drug usage,
cocaine, gambling,
right?
Abortions.
Yeah. And what else? I mean, there could be tons of things on these boats.
So,
man.
Anyway.
I'm telling you, field trip. For the show.
For the show.
Oh, man, it'd be like a hangover scenario, like in the movie. Like, who knows what's going to happen next.
Terrible.
Of course, we'll go there and we'll end up going to like Chili's on the Chili's to go on the boat. Like what was that movie? Hall Pass.
Hall Pass, yes.
They're going to go party and they end up at the Applebee's. We're going to talk a big game, but we're just going to basically hang back,
right?
Watch a movie. It won't be 50 Shades. By the way, we'll watch something funny, maybe Happy Gilmore or something. Did you? Maybe we should give a quick tribute to Bob Barker.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Bob died, and all the jokes are pretty funny. They're 99. He came just as close, son of a bitch, to getting without going over that.
Without going over the top. The price is wrong, bitch.
Okay, yeah. And so they did they showed a clip where I didn't realize they did this, but Adam Sandler did a follow up with Bob Barker to that fight scene.
Oh, did he?
And they did it for some show because people are laughing. The studio audience is laughing, but it was great. I mean, it was like Bob Barker was on his deathbed, and of course now it's ironic. But whenever they did it a couple of years ago, it was funny.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler walks in. He's still in his Bruins jersey, just like Happy Gilmore, and they just take it way too far.
Yeah,
and like all the medical equipment Adam Sandler's using to beat him down, and it's just ridiculous.
Nice.
It's so funny. So then I saw that, and maybe we give. I mean, I loved Price is Right. Did you like Price is Right? Did you ever watch it?
I did watch it. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I remember
back when the models were on there.
The models. Of course, that was some of the pictures they showed of him were him with all those models back in the 70s.
Yeah.
He had this turtleneck and the jacket.
Yeah, boy.
And I just remember watching that with my grandma when I was home from school or something. Right. It was always on at 10 in the morning. Well, as a kid growing up, you're not ever home at 10 in the morning.
Exactly.
And if you were, your parents were putting on Price is Right for you.
Right.
But eventually, I've always found my way to it. I don't know how. Grandmother or whatever. So rest in peace, Bob. You had a hell of a life.
Hell yeah. Good job. That little narrow-ass microphone he had.
Yeah, I know. What was that all about? That I always wondered about that. I was like,
super fucking narrow.
And he just held. It was. I don't know. That was the only thing I didn't like. I always wanted to spin that wheel though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was always worried though that somebody would spin it and then fall over it, and then the little things just hit them in the head afterwards.
Especially like the little old ladies. That
yes.
Spin it. Of course, it's going like 1 mile an hour.
And then it barely moves. It goes spinning again.
It goes like 3 spaces.
Give it another little tug.
We could have guessed what you were going to get.
That's funny.
But anyway, good show. All right. How about some science facts? What are we going to do tonight? Which type of science facts are we going to do?
So these are science facts that are scarier than any horror movie.
Oh, okay. We did some of these last show, but there were a bunch of them, so I'm excited to hear more.
Yeah. So, since I know how much you enjoy bugs.
Oh God, can we not do? Okay.
So,
by the way, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to throw her under the bus with any details. But my sister, I've talked about her before. My sister let me know how disgusting that roach story was.
Did she like it?
That anybody that didn't listen, we did a roach story about a competition, a roach eating competition, and to win a fucking snake.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like you were winning money. It was like you get a python or some shit.
Right.
And these people in Florida.
Good old Florida.
We're eating roaches, and it was just this. She and I we grew up with this just hatred being in Dallas, and she's like, "Oh, I needed to let you know that." So you're gonna throw some bugs at me again, aren't you?
Throw some more bugs. So,
oh God,
this is a fact about fleas. So
okay, not as bad, but
no. So fleas actually move faster than the International Space Station. It says.
Oh. Well, how fast does the International Space Station go? I don't even know. Doesn't it just sit there?
So it says, you might not realize, but fleas are outrageously fast. Said that the Animal Planet highlights the abilities of a flea in the most extreme. In fact, fleas jump up to 3 inches in just a millisecond.
Oh, wow.
So not only is that amazing in comparison to a flea's body size, but acceleration like that is what's truly out of this world. Acceleration like that is nearly impossible. We often measure this in terms of G's or force of gravity. Says the space shuttle has a maximum acceleration of around 5 G's, or about 5 times the force of gravity. So we go down a little bit further. It says that if you look closely at a jumping flea, it can jump as high as 3 inches under a millisecond. When this happens, it can experience up to 100 G's of acceleration.
Jeez. I feel like I've seen, I don't mean to interrupt, I feel like I've seen pictures or something of these things when they show them jumping, and they're pretty intense, but I didn't know this. I guess I'm being an idiot. The space station, obviously, when you're up in space, it's going super fast. And anyway, I sound like an idiot. I'm like, I thought it was sitting still in space, but now it's making sense that you're talking about force.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So it says the secret in this is in their anatomy of the flea. So they also have stretchy, almost rubber-like. Sorry, this is blocking it. I have stretchy rubber-like protein on their bodies that aids them in the movement. So they use this protein to store energy, rapidly release energy. So the tiny little bug can actually achieve 20 times the acceleration of a space shuttle when it jumps.
I love how you're talking about things that are like, you almost need a microscope to see.
Small, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Crazy.
Why them though? Like, why fleas over anything else?
I don't know. That sucks. We need to figure that out.
Yeah,
I want a little suit like that.
Does it have like a close up over there?
No, thank goodness there's no pictures of it.
Well, did you know the fastest insect is? Do you know what that is? I learned recently.
No.
The dragonfly.
Okay.
I got excited. Hit the mic.
Dragonfly. Okay.
The dragonfly. You go out. I'm working in the pool. I'm scooping leaves, and these things are flying around. And I learned that they are literally the fastest insect in the world.
Yeah.
And so now I'm watching these assholes. I'm like, man, you're fast, dude. Way to go.
So this next one, I'm not sure how this is.
I love how my dragonfly fact was so boring. You're like, all right,
just move on.
Thanks. Right. Next one.
I don't know this one. How this is weird. What do we say? Scarier than any horror movie.
Yeah, I don't know how the flea thing was scarier than a horror movie, unless those fleas are like.
This one hit home to me.
Okay, let's do one.
Do you think I'm higher than average scale of confident? Would you say? That's a good
question. That's a very deep question, Trey.
Yeah.
We could sit here for a while and do a whole show on your personality. No, I think sometimes you are, for sure.
Okay.
Some other things you might not be, but.
Well, it says less intelligent people have a higher than average scale of confidence.
I mean, you have a low confidence, Trey.
It says that it was found via the Kruger effect. That people who are the most confident about a particular subject tend to be the least knowledgeable on it. So they always say, it doesn't matter if you actually know the facts, just
Right.
sound confident.
Sound confident.
When you
so
say it.
This Freddy Krueger effect.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Yeah, we'll go with that. I like it.
Something Kruger effect.
The Dunning-Kruger effect.
They're saying that people act more confident even though they're not
Less
as intelligent.
To be the least knowledgeable. So they also found that those who lacked confidence in much they know often tend to be the most knowledgeable on a particular subject.
Well, what I think? Yeah, I don't understand why people that are actually knowledgeable aren't confident, but I understand the other side of it because those are these douchebags that are always like overly confident and they act like idiots.
Yeah.
And they act like they know, and deep down you're like, he doesn't. He's so full of shit.
Right.
I can tell you, look, and maybe I've done it once or twice myself, but I can't tell you many times I've had a conversation. I'm like, this guy knows. It's too obvious.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I feel this one. I like that.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if it's scarier than a horror movie.
So we'll finish with a good one then. How about that?
Well, these are both good, but the title is misleading.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of like the woman that you met up with, her pictures. What was that noise?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So anyway, the last one
Yes.
that I would like to bring up, it says human flesh is apparently something many of us have tasted before.
Now we're talking.
It says science facts like this will make you keep one eye open at night. It says cannibalism is something most people look at as a last resort, yet in some parts of the world, killing and eating humans is not uncommon.
Oh, yes.
There are some tribes in Africa South America that do this even today.
Today. I knew they were obviously back in the day, but today.
But it says man is not first on the menu clearly. While most of us have even eaten human
We're gross. We have hair and we
yeah. While most of us have never eaten human flesh before, we all wonder how someone can do it. However, the taste of humans is something that many of us have tasted before.
Oh.
So it's, and I don't understand why people how they figure this shit out. But human flesh is said to taste a lot like pork.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So yeah, it says
Especially
fact,
the larger.
The larger.
I had to do it.
I don't think she tasted like pork.
The pig. Well, pig. See what I did there, pig, and
yeah. I got you. It's your dog.
Because it's your dog. We're gonna have to do a booklet of all of our quotes that we do that no one knows what we're talking. Watch Road Trip, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess my question first off, before you go any further, is you said men weren't the ideal. Does that mean that women are?
Well, it said, I never thought about that.
Yeah, what were you? So it says that
I think it's saying that man in general, the human,
Oh,
is not the one that's generally the first on the menu. So
I see.
yeah.
I see. Okay, so how do we taste this?
So in fact, it's going into pork. How it tastes much like flesh from humans. It's referred to as long pork,
Like bacon?
Yes.
Ooh.
So in cannibalistic, so it's
Give me your arm, Trey.
It says taste much from human is referred to as long pork in cannibalistic societies. So we obviously have a lot of close connections to pork as humans. Pig valves are used to replace some heart valves. Blah blah blah.
I've heard that.
Says that this often is why medical students will cut into pork as a way of practicing cutting into human beings if catheters are not available. So this very well could be why we have similar structure to our meat, blah, blah, blah. We should probably be careful when we eat bacon overseas at this point, is kind of what it is.
Oh, no way. Seriously? So it's saying, sorry, I got really excited. I don't know why. It's because this idea that overseas there's so many other just lifestyle choices and cultural type things that are accepted there that aren't here.
Yep.
And you're telling me that there could be a slice of bacon that is in fact not pork.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah. It's called the long pork. So it could be human
The
flesh.
long pork.
Yeah. Is what they refer to it.
And of course, we're not going to speculate on which areas. But you're saying so they're saying that these places actually might serve human bacon.
There you go.
No way. That is the type of stuff we give you here on this show, ladies.
Yeah.
I want to know where.
Wow.
I want to guess. I know a couple of crazy spots over there, but I won't do that.
You'll stay away from that.
Well, we might have a listener there.
That's true.
But maybe if anybody knows about human bacon, let us know.
Yeah.
Because I need to know more. I don't think we're going to get that here, though.
I hope not.
Well, I'm just saying if
I'm sure there
my
is
wife
spots.
makes bacon tomorrow, I'm not going to sit there and go, is there a chance?
You hope not.
Well, there's always a chance, but is there a real,
Right. Look at the packaging.
Can you imagine? Deep down in the ingredients, it's like human.
Yeah.
Human.
0.68, 0.32%.
Yeah. Would you eat it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Bacon's pretty good.
Well, and apparently if humans taste like pork, I mean, what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we don't want to eat human the way it's not. We don't want to eat human because we're human.
Right.
And it just seems cannibalistic and it seems just
Inhumane.
wrong and it seems inhumane. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But at the same time, I mean, is it that big of a deal if you're not killing the person for it?
If you don't open up the refrigerator and see a severed head
Right.
in there, yeah.
It's not like, well, I'm looking for, this is my bacon. I need to cook it. I just feel like I always, like have you seen the movie Alive?
I haven't.
Back in the day, you should check it out. It's pretty good. It's a plane crash back in the 70s, I believe, with a soccer team from South America somewhere, and so they're flying over the Andes, and something happens. Of course, in the 70s, that wasn't that uncommon, and they're trapped. I think it ends up being like 40-something days in the snow and the mountains.
So there's a lot of human bacon.
And there was might have been raw bacon, but they got to that point, and it's kind of known as a scene where, Ethan Hawke, if you remember him, he's one of my favorite actors, but he was in it, and they did a scene where they were digging it out, and everybody's like, a couple people were completely against it because of religion. They were like, this is whatever, and a couple people were like, fucking give me some food, like I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, and so I don't know if I'd eat it. I don't know.
Ugh.
If I was surviving, I'd eat it. Anyway.
I'd eat you up.
Yeah.
With a biscuit.
I'd provide a little more meat right now because you've been working
With a
out.
biscuit.
You've been working out too much. You've got no meat. All right, let's do a little bit a quick awareness of self-awareness real fast, and then we'll close it up. I have a one that I think you will appreciate. I think that you'll say, Ryan, I'm glad that you do this. Ryan, I'm glad that we're on the same page with this.
Oh, shit.
And it's another grocery store adventure.
Okay.
If you're walking up to the checkout line, and this isn't self-checkout. Yeah, well, I mean, it could be self-checkout. Like I've done this before in self, but it's mostly when you're walking up and it's somebody that's bagging groceries and checking you out at the checkout. Okay, so somebody else is doing it for you. It's not self. This is a really long way to say it's not self-checkout. So you go up.
This is old school.
And you have a cart. It's old school. There's a person that's actually ringing you up. You have a full buggy, if you will, of items. You're shopping for the week. And all of a sudden, whoever comes up behind you, and they have 4 things.
Okay.
I know you, and I know you'll do what I do, which is let them go ahead of you.
Right.
4 items, 8 items, whatever it is, isn't gonna change your day.
Right.
But it happens the other way when it's reversed. I've done it before where I have like 3 items and I'm getting there and somebody just starts unloading and I swear they look at me. They're like, sorry.
Yeah.
You got all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's the people that don't do that. The people that are in there and somebody comes behind them. Now, if you come up hot on somebody and you're like, let me go. I can't believe it. What did you buy? The store? The whole store? Everything in it?
Yeah.
I get it. Then fuck them. But if you're just standing there and you walk up and you're just like accepting that, okay, I've got to wait for this person to empty 3 weeks of groceries off.
Yeah.
And you don't even consider it, like, come on, right?
Here's what frustrates me.
Okay.
I'll run into grab water. And so I don't know why I get my water from Kroger anyway. So I'll come with a 40 pack of water and I'm like, I'm not grabbing a buggy for this.
40 pack.
So I put it on my shoulder. I get up there and I'm waiting. And then you see that one little old lady that she grabs an item, turns it looking for the barcode.
Oh, you're talking about self again.
2 hands, scans it.
You and your self checkout.
Put it in the bag.
Yeah, these people really upset you.
Grabs another item, turns it, finds the thing. That barcode is in the same fucking place on every piece of item. Just fucking scan the bottom of it and go.
So she doesn't have a free pass because she's like a little old lady.
Hell no.
Okay.
Grab it, scan. Grab it, scan. Not 2 hands.
What if she's like 90 and she can't grab it, scan?
Go have somebody scan it for yourself.
Fair enough. Don't go in the self checkout.
Don't go in the self
That's what you're
checkout.
saying.
Yeah. If you don't know what a fucking computer is.
How many items did she have? Like a lot?
I mean, it was a small basket, but the fact that she had to literally turn every item with both hands to find the barcode, then
12 items took 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm holding this fucking
there, like,
40 pack of bottled water on my shoulder, and I'm
everything.
just like, God damn it. If I'd have just got there just a few minutes sooner. Yeah.
I know. There's so many of those in life, though. Like, usually it's when bad things happen. I'm like, if I had just 30 seconds and this whole day would be different.
Yeah.
Especially like if you scrape your car on something or, something like that, or a tire. If a tire ever happens, you're going, if I had gone a different way, or.
Yes.
So those are the some other ones, but that one wasn't that exciting. But I feel like, again, it's one of those things that,
everybody can relate to.
if someone does that to me, I walk out of there going, you know what? People aren't so bad.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that people do the same thing if I let them through. In fact, some of the reactions are like shock. Somebody is letting me do this. And I was like, I want to be like, people don't let you do this anymore. And so I wanted to bring it to your attention. If somebody comes behind you and they have a very, very tiny basket of stuff and you have a whole freaking thing and kids and this and that, let them go.
Right.
I mean, unless it's life and death and you've got to get out of the store in a certain amount of time, do it.
Right.
Right?
I feel you. Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yeah,
I knew you'd be on the same
Yeah.
page. So, again, not exciting, whatever. So, all right, we'll end it there. I'm enjoying the video element. I'm enjoying our female listeners, if we have any left after tonight's show. But I think the next time we record a show, we may be into football season, or right around it.
Pretty close.
NFL college starts in a couple of days, but
Yes.
NFL is a week from this weekend.
Yes.
So we'll try not to talk too much about football, but we're excited. And
Fantasy football draft this weekend.
fantasy draft for the Stay in the Grave podcast. Well, we have a different name, but I'm now calling it the Stay in the Grave podcast league. We still have 2 spots open.
Yeah. God damn it.
If any, you know what? I'll consider it, Trey. Would you consider it? If any of our listeners right now
Reaches out.
No, they write us
Okay.
at either at stayinthegravepodcast.com.
Stuff at State of the
Oh, I'm sorry. That was our website address. Stuff at stayinthegravepodcast.com, or social media or somewhere, and just say, hey, I need a fantasy league to play in.
Boom.
We'll at least consider it. We might interview you.
I happen to
Make
know
sure
the
you're not
commissioner.
crazy. Yeah, we know the commissioner very well.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's kind of a dick, but overall he's a good man.
Most of the time, yeah.
And so we'll do. We have 2 spots remaining. We don't want to lower it by any number. So
Yeah.
let us know. Otherwise, we'll go with that 10-person league. But yeah, we'll talk about that one when we get back.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Have a safe trip, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a quick trip. I hadn't mentioned that, but I'm going to go on a little bit of a breather, but we'll have plenty of videos on all our social media and TikTok, all those kinds of things. So
Yep.
We'll try and keep you entertained while we're gone, or
Absolutely.
while I'm gone.
Yeah.
So I'll miss you.
I'll miss you too.
All right, talk to you guys
Later.
Love you. on one of those abortion cruises, we could pick up some chicks.
Oh, shit.